Well, if you're going to send me something, this would be nice. Somebody just sent in some parts for a 3D printer that was received today here, and it was really odd for a bunch of reasons. It was sent directly personally to me, not through the Coffee and Tools or something. And I was just thinking how much it would be nice to get some stacks of this stuff. Man, that would be cool. Yeah, so we got some printer parts in that I didn't order, and it gets even better. I do not own this printer, and I have never owned this printer, but it came over from China, and they actually sent me 2 of the plates for the machine, which is the KP6. And the KP6 is a resin printer from Kingroon. And I don't even see it for sale anymore. I don't know if it is for sale anymore with Kingroon. The last thing we had in was the KLP1. And it's a great build, but I had a lot of trouble with the software with them, and we sort of had a little bit of a problem there. And there was some damage from not getting the auto leveling and things working right. So anyways, down the road, it's over with. I got the Prusa working and the machine's up and running, and it was like, okay, good, fine. I wanted to come back and show you how to set that up with Prusa for a slicer in order to use the KLP1. But when we went to try to videotape it, we still had problems. And I was like, oh, so I had to give up because the software and the KLP1 just doesn't seem to agree with each other. And the other alternative was Cura. Ultima Cura is I think they have 5.5 or something right now. It's a good slicer, for what it is. And I was just talking to a gentleman this morning about it, and saying for a beginner to start out on 3D printing, Cura is probably, about the best. Somebody dropped a cat about a month and a half ago or something, so I have a cat in here with me that's meowing. If you hear a cat meowing, that's we're going to give her a name. We're going to call her, yes, we're going to call her Abby. Yeah, so Abby got fixed today. In fact, this morning she got fixed, so she won't be having any kittens. But that was something. That's one of the reasons I've got her trapped in the house here with me right now. So that was just I have to keep her apparently about 10 days. Yeah, man, yeah. Yes. You're gonna be feeling pretty sore pretty soon. I don't think the pain drugs have worn off just yet. So. But okay, did real good, so that's a good thing. I've decided I want to try to keep the cat because apparently it's a nice cat. So anyways, I went yard sale hopping on a weekend, and actually there's a couple things here, but this one here was a great find. Ham radio. Now this is just by Heathkit, and I really have an old soft spot for Heathkit from the good old days when they did a lot of electronic stuff. And this was only $3 and it works great. So yeah, there's a fella up in Cleveland, Texas right now who's a ham operator who will be spitting coffee out over his car right now or wherever he's at when he watches. And you bought that for what? And it works fine. Checked out the band frequencies and everything on it. Works great. I have a ham radio license, yes. So anyways, that's pretty cool. That was a good find. The other find, which I don't have it over here right now. Let me drag it over here and we'll take a look at it. But ham radio for $3 was like, from Heathkit. Yes, good old Heathkit out of Benton Harbor, Michigan. So I've always loved the old Heathkit stuff. That was like, when I was growing up, that was hot electronic stuff that you could buy for a great price. And a lot of it, you got it in parts and baggies and you had to put it together. Kind of like, what's that furniture store that they have now? You know the one. IKEA. Yeah, they were the electronics, IKEA. And yes, find number 2 was $20. It's an oscilloscope with, and it works great. Now, of course, most people, when they plug these things in and they turn the power button on and they don't see anything here and they're like, I guess it doesn't work, and they shut it back off and walk away. This is an oscilloscope, but it's an old one. So this right here, it does work, but this is a CRT, which is like the old TVs when we were growing up as kids. So you turn this thing on and you let the CRT warm up before you can get a reading or do something where you can actually see the wave up here on the frequency or whatever it is you're measuring. And this is, again, a fabulous and interesting find for any kind of electronic work. An oscilloscope is a really awesome thing, especially when you're building power supplies or doing something relative with signal, that sort of thing. So they're just an awesome machine. But for 20 bucks, I'm like, I can't walk away from this. I have got to bring this home today. So I picked this up as well as the ham radio. Then, so this was a little more expensive. It was 20. And the people say, like, you know, it's as is because we don't know anything about it. So, it's okay. I'll take my chances, you know. But I do yard sales all the time, and I keep telling you guys, get out there and take a look, because you will be shocked sometimes at what you find for a couple dollars. Months ago, I found a unbelievable Marshall electric guitar amplifier that was worth, I don't even know what that thing is worth, 700, 800, whatever it was, in brand new condition for $50. And it did need a repair, which was electronic, which of course someone like me can either burn it up or fix it. You never know which way. I usually give it the 50-50 when I first start repairing, you know. It's like, yeah, you got about a half a chance here this thing might survive me, you know. I'm trying to repair it, but I have just enough knowledge to either screw it up or it gets fixed, one or the other. You know, I can never tell. But this was a really good find. I really like this because there's no money tied up in the tool, and yet I've got an oscilloscope, and I can do frequency testing and other, well, I can look at pattern, whatever, on the screen and have a good old time with it. So yes, what a great find, yes. Okay, I put my toys away for now, but you'll notice there's no tool reviews on the last week or so, last couple of weeks. We've had some problems. And I'll tell you the truth, and again, it goes back to honesty. Now, I cannot give you the name of the company or, you know, maybe some source of where the tool came from or whatever like that, but I had some tools come in for review, which we love to do all the time. I love checking out new stuff. And this was a new tool with a sort of like a twist, you know what I mean? It had some extra features, whatever, and I thought, man, that'd be pretty cool. It came in, and it was the most annoying, unsafe thing I've ever seen. Almost to date, it was that bad. Yeah, it was a really bad tool, and I was really upset about it. And I told the company, I said, I won't divulge your name or anything like that, but we'll return it, we'll send it back, whatever. I had to just tell the company, forget it, we're not doing a review for you, because I don't want anybody to see this tool. In fact, I don't want this tool to be sold on the market. It's just unsafe. It creates problems. And they were like, well, it's more for a do-it-yourselfer and not for a professional level. And I thought, the fact is, it's the do-it-yourselfers that are going to get themselves in trouble. The professional will see the problem immediately with the tool and go, oh, don't use this for that job because it's going to create unsafe conditions. So much for that tool. Yeah, we had a couple of those come in. So that canceled everything and totally blew my entire schedule for the next couple of weeks up, because we try to preset everything and schedule these reviews and tools or whatever products, you know, we're going to look at. Everything has to be in a line. And no, the tool was not from Vivor, in case anybody gets, you know, crazy on me. In fact, I think we've never really carried anything of this particular brand name that came in. So, you know, it's an unrelated name to this channel. We've never shown their stuff. It was like, you know, so. And apparently, if they keep stuff like that, we never will show that stuff. So, just want to let you guys know. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that if something comes in and it's bad, we will take a legal look at it to see if we can still put it on the show and say, hey, don't buy this, it's a piece of junk, you know. And a lot of times, I like to sort of would be able to do that, and you can't, because it's like, okay, they make some really good stuff, this thing just so happens to be a lemon, you know, and it's like, and it wouldn't be fair to rip the whole company down the tubes over, you know, one mistake or something they screwed up on. So a lot of times what I'll just do is say, you know what, we're just not going to show it, and just, you know, push it off. And we've even, I've had several different things come in like that where we just sent it back, you know, and just said, no deal, we're not going to show it because this thing doesn't live up to it. The problem we had this last week or so was a couple of tools like that came in, and the big problem was we actually started filming, you know, the review, and all of a sudden I started running into problems while I was trying to demonstrate the use of the tool. And it was new to me, just like it would be to you guys, so I thought that was a fair review. And we just hit problem after problem, and I'm like, whoa, stop, cut, you know. We've just blown days of filming and there's no way we can release this video and tell anybody how bad this thing is, because some of these companies, like I said, they have reputations where they've made good tools, you know, for people. It's just, this was something new they were trying, and it was like, no, don't do this. You know, this is a flub. Don't ever put this thing on the market. And that's what happened. And unfortunately, it was back to back, two of them like that. And these were outfits, like I said, we've never shown them. They were names that they apparently they sell on Amazon, from what I understand, are available on Amazon, but they were not brand names that I was familiar with. So it was like, well, you know, that'll be great. They can send it back in 30 days, but you know what? They shouldn't buy it in the first place. They're wasting their money, you know, on something that's just absolute junk. And it happens. Oddly enough, and I'm just going to mention a couple different companies, such as, what was it, Depth Tech. This is a prototype. When they sent this over, it was very important for them to discuss it with me, sit down with their techs, and talk a little bit about what I thought about the tool. And I also asked you guys for some input, because I fed everything back to their tech people to tell them what's going on. When we have a bad tool come in, such as these two bad tools that came in the other week for filming, it was really shameful. You know, you get back to the tech side of it, and you try to talk through the representative to the tech people, and I don't know if the story gets changed on the way through or what happens, but by the time the tech stuff comes back for an answer to one of my issues, you sort of sit there and you think, they're not getting it. You know, they're just totally missing it, or they're in denial, or they don't realize the dangerous functions that they're causing with problems with tools. And so it's at one point with this one particular tool company, out of the two of them the other week, I sent them like basically a resume of my background and said, look, you know, not only as I worked as an electrical engineer, worked with electrical, you know, all my life, but also I had to deal with mechanical engineering, and I have a lot of different studies behind me. I'm telling you, this is what the deal is, you know. And then after a couple days, they said, oh, we're going to send it over for some testing, and the technicians will look at this problem. Then they came back and they said, oh my God, yeah, we're sorry. It turns out, you know what, yeah, you're right, this really doesn't work well, and it's not very safe, and yeah, we're going to pull it at this point, and we're not going to be putting it on the market. I mean, I hope I never see anything like that on the market. We've had different things like that come in too. But the problem is, guys, is the same as like when you go to customer service for a warranty or return or something. It's amazing how much you have to show patience. Sometimes a lot of pictures to try to communicate back and forth, and it takes time, and that sort of eats you up a little bit. And it's really it's like a game of patience to see, you know, how long you can last before you explode and say, you know, you idiots, or whatever I'm dealing with. And it's not. It's all about the time thing of going over to the tech people, to the marketing companies, and it has to go all through all these different functions. And the worst thing is that the gal that might be at the very front, that's the rep for that company, she can get in trouble because she sent that thing to a YouTuber who doesn't like it or something. And it's like, oh, so you can imagine the problems you develop. It's just incredible. But a lot of fun these last few weeks. Was like, oh, but at least the company did come through at the last minute and say, you know what, yeah, we're going to pull it for now. And yeah, we did see the flags that you gave it. And it's like, yeah, we're talking to our technicians now, and it does not look like a tool we should be carrying. So we're going to drop it for the moment. So it's like, okay, it's not a win thing. It was just kind of like, it took me a while to prove my point, you know, and it took them a while to understand, yeah, there is some problems here. So, what an interesting mess. Sad thing is, I lost just about a whole week of filming over two tools that had to be, you know, thrown to the wayside because we can't see them. So if you don't see that tool on this show, it's no good. Or it hasn't come in here yet. I don't know which. Every once in a while, if something comes in and I can get away with it, and I think we can legally, you know, handle it, I will tell you right out front, and I will show it to you and say, hey, this is what's wrong. But, you know, a lot of times when I do that even, it still falls on deaf ears. So anyways, the other thing too was there are contracts with a lot of the YouTubers, and you can tell by the linking when they say give you a link. If your link is going to like Amazon or something, it's probably a fair review and I can trust the person. But If the link is going to through a certain marketing company, then their show is absolute garbage. You can throw it out, because really whatever they say doesn't matter, because they're by contract. They are not allowed to say anything bad about something, you know. And I really don't appreciate that, because myself, when I'm looking for something or I'm checking reviews before I say film my own review, a lot of times I'll take a look at the other YouTubers, just see what they had to say about it. And if I see that marketing type firms with the linking down there, it's like, then I can't, because I already know he's by contract. He has to tell you how great this thing is, how wonderful it is. Oh, it's shiny, it's so new, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, there's nothing negative is allowed to be said. And they even have the preview of these videos before they okay the release for them. So in other words, you're not getting anything real. Sort of like the news these days, you know. But anyways, the thing is I won't do that anymore. I was doing it a couple of years ago with a marketing firm, many years ago, as a matter of fact, about 3-4 years ago, and we started to have trouble right away, because I like to be very honest about something, and if I see something I don't like, you know, I will say it on the show, and the marketing company's like, whoa, 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 you don't tell them that, you know, like, why? You know, they're going to figure it out. When they buy it, they're going to find out, you know. So I don't want feedback like that. So interesting problem that the way to get around it is to drop the marketing companies and just tell them, no, you know what, we will not sign your contract, we will not work with you. I don't care if you have 100 brand names under your wing, we're not going to deal with it, so forget it, you know. And that's what I have done. Now companies like Vevor, I really love them, because you know, they're kind of the Harbor Freight of tools, but at the same time Vevor sends stuff in and they just say, hey, tell them as it is, what you think, the way you find it, and just have at it. And it's like, wow, okay, good. You know, the road is open. I can have at it. And if I see something wrong that I think is not fair value or something, I'll tell you guys about it. Now, I have had really good luck with their stuff. I really don't have any complaints. In fact, if anything, I like their stuff. It's cheap. It's like, I like it, you know, good enough. I can go into Harbor Freight and I know there's some stuff in there I'm not going to like. But I do like companies, appreciate companies sometimes when they say, well, we'll send it to you, but we want a real review. And in some cases we get a few things in, such as the SK1 from Two Trees, the 3D printer. And they said, you know what, we want to hear any negative side of this thing that you have to say, because we can talk to our reps, our techs, and we want to be able to make a better 3D printer or a better tool, or we want to use some feedback on that. So they're looking forward to hearing anything that, you know, you might think might not be that great for the consumer, which, you know, I love working with that, because it kind of leaves that door open that I can tell you guys 100% the truth about whatever it is. And I'm not shying away from, oh, don't tell them about, you know, something that goes wrong here or something. Don't like that. Don't want to live that way. Anyways, hey, thanks for watching Coffee Tools. I know it's a crazy week, but, you know, this is pre-recorded because I've got people from out of town visiting, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff for entertainment going on this week. So I'm not here. I'm not really here. You know? Okay, so yeah, I'm out of here right now, though. Over and out.